I'm a singer-songwriter, as he said. I'm from New York, from the Bronx, and just recently moved out here to LA.
Just tell me a little bit about, your practice with spirituality.
So all my life, right, I had to move around, different countries, different places, and just doing my music and slowly putting all my energy into my art. And, always hoping for the better, always hoping to get higher and higher and higher. And, throughout the whole process of living a life where you want something so bad, it can take such a toll on you and who you are. And you tend to lose, not yourself, but, paths start to get cloudy because you want to take the right paths all the time. And you kind of like go through a real spiritual, I don't know what to call it, but it's just a spiritual toll. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's like you kind of have to like take a break sometimes. And like I think it all starts with the way you think. Mm-hmm. Like if you're hard on yourself, you're hard on yourself, and you're not. It's like abuse. You're not giving yourself a break. You're not saying good things to yourself all the time because you're so hard on yourself and you want to succeed so bad that you think by being so negative to yourself is going to take you somewhere, because that's how you do it. You just gotta be very hard. Every time you see something like trying to get somewhere, it's always like a boulder holding you, or you're pushing a boulder, and it's kind of like that way of thinking is what's making the pressure on you so hard. So you start feeling it in the spirit, the pressure of things being so heavy. And we're all like bred to think that when you're trying to succeed somewhere, it is a heavy weight. And I think with spiritual practice, or whether you're in a religion or whatever, I think spirituality just has to do with yourself and your being. It's like trying to not have that heavy ball. Like not like when you're going somewhere, you don't need that. That heavy ball is not, it's not there. That does not exist just because it feels that way, like getting that heavy ball out the way, and just like letting your life be.
Why do you think our society and so many of us experience exactly what you're saying? Do you have a theory or an idea?
Well, I feel like because when you feel something, like when you feel pressure, that's the word we use, pressure, because it feels like pressure. It feels so heavy on you. It feels so heavy on your soul. Like, damn, I feel so much pressure. Like this is like weighing me down. Like, so we all people of like, we use imagination with everything, and like what you see is actually what you feel. Like what you think is actually what you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like some woman could be like, yo, I want to be pregnant so bad. I'm pregnant, and start to get the symptoms of pregnancy. Start to look pregnant, and they're not pregnant. Like your mind is powerful. Like it can really like, if you feel sick, like, oh, I feel sick. I think I have the flu. You literally feel sick and you don't have the flu. Like it's just everything up here really affects your whole body, your whole system, and it's just like I think it's really important to find a way to just like, it's kind of like an out of body thing where you kind of remove yourself from what we've created as a society, as a human race, as a all this money and all this like ways that we think you have to live like, and that's where the pressures come from. It's all fake. It's all imaginary, but we have to live by it, right? So it's like sometimes it's good to take yourself out of that and remember that it's not real.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not real.
Yeah, and that's like my question is why. And it's a question I often have and I ask people is like, why do you think that we've created so many of these pressure systems on each other? It's interesting, right? I don't know if there's an answer.
I mean, there's many answers, you know what I'm saying? Like, where everything has so many answers because, like, history, like, we just got here, where, like, people have done things before us that we don't even know why we have to do it. Is because, back then they, somebody created it or whatever it is, everything has to do with history and like everything before us and like what we practice now or change what we want to change and things like that. It's just at the end of the day, people want to do something. We want to do something, so we create something for us to do. like, I don't know what I want to do in life. So I'm going to do this. You're creating things to do because you feel like you need to do something with your life. You know what I'm saying? You need to feel important. You need to feel like you can't just lay there. If you sit there and lay there and do nothing, you know you're going to go crazy.
Right.
But why? Why? You're going to go crazy. Why you feel like you got to do something all the time?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, interesting, right? Like Vipassana meditation, the shamanic training with ayahuasca, for instance, and other spiritual practices. It's about that. It's about being in isolation and meditating, just being with yourself and being with all your thoughts. And you know, there's so much more to our brain and to all these things. It's interesting when we you know, I have another friend who was just recently saying, you know, what if we just took a chance on all the spiritual stuff that we know, where like this life is a gift, and I'm just going to do things that are completely in alignment with treating this experience in this body as a gift, and just doing art and just doing music and not worrying. You know what I mean? And he's like, I'm gonna live. I'm gonna try for a while to just live completely free and completely. And I know this guy. I mean, he comes from a really good family, he's really smart, really sweet guy, and he's been on a spiritual path, and we've known each other for a while. And it's just hearing that from somebody. It's like, yeah, like what a great way to think. What a great, you know, thing to be working on. And I always feel like it's not about an end goal or being a certain way or being perfect, but it's about really using something as a way to measure and to work with, and then not being hard on yourself in an old system of measurement where it's like, oh, I have to do this or I have to be this way, but just understanding these systems that we appreciate that are good, and then using that in a new way, right? Because that's what's happening, is that if you're, you know, you could take an old structure and you can give it life by not having it be forced in the old way, but still, like, you know, respecting it and allowing new breath and new life. And I feel like that idea isn't just my idea. That's really, I think, something that I've learned, if I've learned anything from spirituality, is you know, is my love of history, my love of learning and growing, but then learning how to do that in a new, evolved, healthy way. Because, like you said, we're all here on this, like, to learn, to grow. Like, we're all learning. We're all trying to figure out what to do, how to do it. And so instead of fighting and like, this is right, this is wrong, this is what I have to do, how can we take these things, these practices, and then take the good from everything, basically, you know, the alchemy.
But it's such a, you know, sometimes it's so unfortunate that I feel like it's realizing that what may be good to you and everything is terrible for somebody else. It's like, for me, I feel good moving around places and needing change, and I feel comfortable in uncomfortable environments sometimes, and I feel comfortable actually sometimes just fucking like throwing myself somewhere where I feel like I need to survive.
Right.
Like I need to figure it out, because I am obsessed with the feeling of being better. And some people are not with that. They're like, I'm chilling right here, bro, you're bugging. Like, you do that. You do that. I'm staying right here. And who am I to be like, well, you're not going to go nowhere and you're dumb and you should do what I'm doing, because if you don't, you're just going to stay in your bubble. And they're like, well, who's, you know. It's like so many different paths of life. And I think that's what spiritual, like, it's for you. What is it for you? Because at the end of the day, y'all could think the same thing, but it's different. It's still very different. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the brain and the mind and how it works. I think still, like, I love science and I love, like, you know, like, you want to know what's in those drugs, right? You want to know why it works on you. Because of certain parts of the brain that it blocks out or it doesn't work or something. And when you're trying to learn something, it takes a while, because it takes a while for the neurons to even, you know, react and to learn to stay that way. You know what I'm saying? So you just kind of have to always practice, practice, no matter what it is. Even if it's like, this is my way of good. You know what I'm saying? And some people aren't going to like it, but I'm going to try to perfect it myself, that when I do talk about it, I can explain it well
Right.
for people to understand,
Right.
even if they don't believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally. And I feel like the practice becomes a spirit, like it becomes its own thing.
Yeah, and it
You
becomes
know?
an obsession as well.
Yeah.
Because we, at the end of the day, like we all like, as people, we think we're letting go so much as well, but you're also still, you know, with practice, you still have to constantly do something.
Right.
So you're still, either way, you're practicing to release and be this, while somebody next to you is practicing to just get money.
Right.
At the end of the day, you're both doing the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
It's practicing something and
Exactly.
focusing on that thing you really want to achieve.
Yeah, and what I love too, and because I think so much about the creative aspect of it, and what you're saying is because you never know what's going to happen from practicing. Like you practice this day, this happens. You practice here, this happens. You practice in this way, and so you're growing, and everything around us is changing. Everything is growing.
It is.
So, to me, spirituality is energy, right? So it's like you never know what energy is going to affect what and how it's going to lead, and that's the human existence. So it's like if you don't believe in spirituality, that's fine. If you don't think there's anything more than just doing what you're doing and how you're doing it, that's fine. But like really, if you really look at stuff, you realize that we're all connected, we're all growing, and nothing is the way that this brain wants us to think it is, which is patterns, boxes, you know, and that we're not going to die. Like the brain, if you really study the brain is a powerful tool that, in my opinion, we've just let go way too in charge. And so creativity is really, I think, the whole. When you talk about using more of the brain and understanding more about why we're here and advancing science and stuff, and Einstein, they all talk about creativity. You know what I mean? It's like.
And I say this all the time too. It's like I say to my friends, I'm like, I love science, certain parts of science, like not all of it, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the people who found out things that nobody else could is because they had to use their imagination and prove it to people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how the heck are we supposed to know how many stars or Earth, whatever, if we don't have the technology?
Right.
But you saw it, you believe it. You're
Right.
like, yo, I know there is. Like, I know the Earth is round, bro. Like, let me tell you why. I saw it. I don't have the exact math for it to show the, you know, but it's real.
Yeah.
If it's real to him, then, like, you know what I'm saying?
And
like,
that's really interesting because now with our current political system where everyone's like, how can you prove anything? How can you talk to anyone? They're going to believe what they want to believe. Doesn't matter what science you have, if you have like a way to measure that the earth is doing this and that's doing that, and all the scientific stuff that we've now used, you know, it's a crazy time right now, right?
Everything changes. It's always changed, you know? And just like, I feel like every time I have conversations, it's just, not that it goes in circles, but every time I talk about something, I find out something new all the time. And then what I'm thinking, like, just detours to something else. And it's just like always like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
there's so much, and everyone has something to offer. You know, I really feel that we're all, like right now with sort of where we're at with everything we're doing is everyone's becoming the shaman. Everyone's becoming the healer.
But back to energy, bro, to keep it simple as possible.
Yeah.
Because we can, you know, go as deep and, but to keep it as simple as possible is, if I feel something, like, how do I explain this? If I feel really, like, if I really believe that is blue, and you don't believe that's blue, I'm not going to throw negative energy at you. Like, oh, I hate you.
Right.
I'm like, you get in my nerves. How you do not see that that's blue?
Right.
Like, you're getting, I hate you.
Right.
And that's like, whoa, like, like the back to energy. It's like, just, all right, just learn to control yourself, bro. Like, don't hate that person. Just like, all right, positive energy your way. I'm going over here. Like, you don't get it. It's fine. But don't hate me for my view. I'm not gonna hate you and throw you negative energy. Just anything having to do with hate and negative energy is just, I don't. It's not okay. You know? It's just not okay.
Amen. I mean, that is I feel like what we're as a planet, as a species, really coming to grips with right there. Like that's a huge thing because we all have it. Like, we all know it, right? Like and they always say like we all have a Hitler inside of us, a Saddam Hussein, a whoever, like an Einstein, you know, the amazing potential. And if we can't understand that we don't have to judge ourselves and judge others, that we're all equal, we're all connected. Yeah. You know, and we all have our individual thing and our individual place and all these different things that we're working on. But understanding. Also understanding that most people don't have the privilege to think like you because they're in a whole different deep situation. Yeah. They're all growing, having to get out of a so fucked up situation that they want to be positive and want to be able to think like that, but it's so hard. Yeah. Because there's other people who are fucking really in power and negative to these, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like also helping. Yeah. Also knowing that, yo, I have the privilege of thinking this way, and I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna fight with you. Right. I'm gonna fight with you because I wanna help you be able to think like me too. I wanna help you be able to think positive. Yeah. Like, cause not all negative energy is on purpose either. Right. Oh yeah, of course. Like you wanna say like, yo, I'm sorry. Let me. How can I help you not be negative? Right. Everybody thinks they're doing the right thing, right? Yeah, everybody sometimes it's not. Sometimes, you know, finding out what's right, how to do it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it's beautiful that, you know, like things like this. Like you said, you're giving to what? We're working with the indigenous people. We're creating sustainability. We're making them a part of what we're doing, and really honoring the tradition, not trying to be just an outsider that's trying to take advantage and, you know, and change stuff. We're really trying to learn the right way and bring it to you're learning, a new tribe. You know, and that's beautiful. You really are interested in a culture or you know, and you really want to learn about it. So you put yourself in it, and you really like embody it, and you really appreciate them, and you're like, you know, almost like permission. Like, yo, can I marry your daughter? I'm not gonna just steal her away from you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. It's a very, you know, weird comparison, but no, it's nice. Yeah. Wow, great, really great insights. And we were just saying too, like, I mean, you were saying how people don't think they're doing wrong. People, you know, it's about compassion. It's about all of us sharing and learning. And again, like we were saying before, is that you never know what you're going to learn, right? You never know who's going to be your teacher. And the same with healing. You got to be open to learning. You know, you think you're healing someone, they end up healing you. If we're open, if we're compassionate, understanding. You know, and again, I really feel like this conversation, a lot of these conversations that I'm sure you and I have in our, you know, in our groups and in our lives, they're so important, right? Because it's like, this is the active, that's why we're doing all the things we're doing. It's like an active integration of spirituality. It's not that it's new things that people don't understand, but again, you never know how it's going to affect people, how it's going to reach people. And even just me talking to you right now, I feel like I've just learned a lot, and I can feel where you're coming from, and I'm just seeing it through your perspective, you know, and I know I've just grown, you know, so it's real. Same, likewise. It's good to talk to people about these things. Yeah. It's good to talk. It's good to have communication. It's like, how does a relationship work? Right. What if you guys never talked and, you know, really like, because everyone's different, and in order to build a relationship with people, you have to talk. Right. Communicate and like understand. Right. You know? A lot of trying to put yourself to the side sometimes. Like I explained this. This is the most recent example I could say. I had an argument with my boyfriend because I felt insecure about something. He made me feel insecure about something. Right. So I'm gonna bring something. I brought it up to him, and what he does is he tries to defend himself. Right. Saying, you know, he's trying to comfort me in his mind, but he's doing it in a defensive way that is not going to resonate to me. Right. So now we're fighting because I'm trying to let you know why you hurt me. Like, I'm not trying to hear your defensive side. Right. So it's up to you right now to let down your defenses, listen to why you hurt somebody, and really try to, then after you listen to them and like, then explain to them. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, explain yourself after when you hurt them out.
Right.
Like, there's no way if somebody feels hurt from what you did,
Right.
they're gonna listen to why you did it.
Right.
So it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna hear you, sorry.
Yeah.
I can't hear you. I'm just mad now, even more, because how dare
Right.
you defend yourself?
Amazing. Yeah. Wow. Well, I've never had that experience because I'm perfect. That's amazing.
That's funny.
But I can relate to what you're saying.
No, but like, you could be the best guy in the world, but sometimes, you know, that if you don't know, you don't know. Like,
No, I think that's amazing what you said, and I think it's really important and very relatable because that really, yeah, I totally feel you. I was gonna say one thing when you said it's all about learning to communicate before you gave your example, which is an amazing example, is I was just gonna talk about the plant because one thing, and I know you know a little bit about the plant. You've heard.
yeah, I've heard of
before.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is someone that's new, that's obviously an amazing person, and we're just talking frankly. And so the plants communicate basically in a ceremony.
I would love to try. I just
Yeah.
feel so like.
So I just wanted to bring that in as
Yeah.
like, you know, because we're talking about communication,
Mhm.
and this is really a higher communication in a way. They've been around for so much longer than us, and we have evolved with them. We always talk about human evolution, but there's plant DNA in us.
Yeah.
And they're really wise, and can't even put it into words really, but that's really something that, anyway, that's not what we're going to go into here, but just wanted to throw that in. Because we're talking about communication, you know, so
Yeah,
animal, plant, spirit, all like, you know, and they're all affecting us as I'm sure you.
I mean,
you
of course,
believe.
they all help us. Like, even in like medicine and things like that. Like, you know, I don't like pharmaceutical medicines. Obviously, I've hurt myself so many times. I've gauged my arm open and all that stuff. Like, but I used all how do you say it? Like, natural oils and stuff like that, and it works so much faster and better. Like, I picked the aloe plant and I put that on my face and it goes away, like, you know, as opposed to when I buy the like pharmaceutical products, even like face wash, like it really just doesn't sit well. And I mean, sometimes it'll take a little longer because we're also about quick, you know what I'm saying? But the medicines in it and how, you know, it can heal your body from just picking it from the floor. That's insane.
And that was a whole other conversation I was having recently, is that a lot of medicines take from plants and what they do to the body. They've studied it and then they've created a synthetic version of that. Yeah. But it's still not as effective. You know, it can be effective in a different way, or But you know, and there's a whole reason for doing that, and that's like a
I had this conversation too recently. I had this conversation too recently about like pharmaceutical drugs with my friend, and I'm just like explaining it to him because he just doesn't. He thinks, you know, when people just take like Adderall, you know, it all became like, you know, normal people started taking. Well, no, I'm not gonna say normal. That's not a good way of saying it, but just like people who take it who don't need it, right?
Right, for fun.
For fun, exactly. And I explained to him what they actually are for.
Right.
Like to block certain parts of the brain, to make you, you know, less of who you are. Right. In a sense, you know? Right. And he's like,
yeah.
Like, why pharmaceutical drugs? Why certain this? Why that? I'm like, bro, it's all chemistry, man. Yeah. We definitely need to talk more. There's a lot more I can tell that we could go into about all of the things. We started really general, and that was awesome. So hopefully we'll have you again, and definitely check her out, Maxine Ashley. She's an amazing artist. She's going to be on a radio show. You should check that out on 88.5 KCSN. Thanks for listening to us, IS Sessions. Thank you.